picked a powerful A team against Italy at Melrose. The side, captained by Gavin Hastings, contained 11 cap players, opportunities for full caps for the others, including the exciting young centre from Gala, Gregor Townsend. Italy, crushed by Wales earlier in the season, field 8 of the side which lost in Cardiff. Among them, Ivan Francescato, Italy's scrum half in the World Cup, but playing yesterday as a centre. Another World Cup success, the Argentinian Diego Dominguez, is at fly half, and in the pack, Julian Gardner, who's won 4 caps for Australia, is at number 8. We join the match midway through the first half, with Scotland leading 6-3. Commentator is Bill McClark.
Checchinato has gone wide, but it's pinched there by Gary Armstrong. Armstrong through, nicely out to Smith. Townsend with a chance to start. Start comes inside him. Start going through, nicely out to Chalmers. And the interception by Checchinato. But that's the best move of the game so far. And as you'd expect, started by Gary Armstrong. However, the Italians have won very useful ball to Dominguez, and he's clear. But that really did get the crowd shouting here. It was a nice bit of play. You can see Gary Armstrong, how he pinched the ball. It was out of the scrum. Watch how Ian Smith did the link here. Now, Townsend, I think if Derek Stark had stayed outside, he might have got to the line. But in any case, it was still a very good run. But the interception was by Checchinato. Now, that was a slightly quicker ball, but out to Chalmers, to Townsend. Missed out Scott Hastings to Gavin Hastings, the pick-up by Francescato. But again, offside against the Italians. They're encroaching too much. That's Ivan Francescato, who was a tremendous success in the World Cup as a scrum half, but they're playing him today as a centre. Craig Chalmers, who scored 114 points in major internationals, and there for Scotland A, another lovely penalty goal, his third of the match. 9 points to 3. And they've about 10 minutes to go to the break. It's a free kick offence that time. What was it, preventing the ball going in, was it? Well, pulling a man down in the scrimmage is a penalty offence, which surprises me. But there we are, Stuart Reid going on the charge. Armstrong to Carol Haw. The Scottish forwards deciding to try and suck in people a bit more. Now they put it back to Chalmers, Gavin Hastings, Scott Hastings, Townsend with that flaring acceleration, but half tackled there by Dominguez. Just didn't have quite enough room, and now the Italians working it out there to Francescato. He leaves it to Vaccari. Vaccari nicely out to Francescato. Troiani was in the line. A great run there by Francescato again. And Stuart Reid tries to recover for the Scots on halfway. Carol Hogg takes it in as well. And another loud blast for the Italians interfering on the floor. And this kind of thing, and the offside as well, were the main offences when they were penalised a lot against England in the World Cup. But the Italians showing here their ability to move the ball. That was Troiani, and then fed out beautifully there. Lovely run there by Kutita, the left wing, on the wrong wing altogether, and Vaccari, the right wing as well. Stuart Reid was the man who saved it for the Scots. Gary Armstrong again, nicely laid back, out there from Jones along the line to Scott Hastings, beautifully out to Stark. Stark trying to go outside Kutita, held by him. Interception by Francescato. And so Derek Stark had very little room indeed there in which to try to manoeuvre his way past Kutita. But good to see the big wing getting a bit of ball to play with, even in short space. Landy's throw up from Checchinato. Offside at the line out. Quick tap kick taken, it's on there to Checchinato. Checchinato caught there by Stark second time. Now nicely laid back along the line to Dominguez. That's the prop forward, Kutita driving on. Checchinato again, but the Scots are offside. And a chance for the Italians to cut the leeway. Here's a Another fella trying to make his mark, Diego Dominguez. I say no problems for goal kickers insofar as footing or wind is concerned. Dominguez is showing that. That's a lovely strike. Clean through. Second goal for Dominguez. It's 9 points to 6, and they've about a minute to go to half-time. Carlo Orlandi to throw in there, the one fellow from the Piacenza club in this Italian side. Picking his spot well too, because Gardner took it very well, the big Australian wallaby. Chalmers borrows, but he's got Big Cronin along with him. Yes, it was knocked down badly. And the referee deciding that there was offside against the Scots, and there is a real chance of the Italians tying the score just as we go into injury time at the break. Dominguez then, who scored 29 points in 3 games in the World Cup, a very good World Cup series. Dominguez looks pretty good, it certainly is, and that little fellow is giving the Italians all the encouragement that they need. His third penalty goal. It's 9 points to 9. The referee's whistle goes for half-time. We haven't seen enough spread of play to please the big crowd. Maybe that'll come in the second half, but the Italians are certainly giving the Scots plenty to think about. And so there in the grey coat, a very interested spectator here today, the manager of the England squad, Jeff Cook, and beside him Ian McGeechan. Of course, they're old pals, come from the Leeds area. But interesting to see Jeff Cook watching what's going on, and obviously running the rule over Scotland's quick men in their back division. That was Barba hoisting the high one for Gavin Hastings. Hastings again superb in his technique, makes the mark and gets the free kick. And they're taking it very quickly. A chance here as Chalmers goes. Chalmers, I think he was going to pass to move it out, but the way was blocked, and so he put in the kick. But again, a good bit of quick thinking there by the Scotland captain, Gavin Hastings. And let's hope now that Craig Chalmers will have opportunities to move the ball wide a bit more in this second half. The Italian 10 metres line. Massimo Cutita at the front, good knockdown there again by Checchinato, who's done quite well at the front, but it's Gary Armstrong to Carol Hogg. Carol Hogg tackled by Dominguez and by Rigo. Armstrong, Chalmers, Scott Hastings, Townsend going for the break, gets it out to Gavin Hastings, a real chance for Stark, and Stark very unlucky indeed to lose possession. The clearance by Vakari, but that really was a lovely move, and it shows also that the Scots moving the ball wide can be very useful indeed. But Vakari was the man who cleared it. It was a lovely crisp move. Chalmers, Scott Hastings, Townsend. Townsend really made the opening for Gavin Hastings by going for the break, and there is where Stark lost the ball to Vakari. Chalmers again, Scott Hastings out to Gavin Hastings. That was a thundering tackle, yes indeed, by Francescato. Now the pick-up by Cutita, the other twin. That's Marcella the wing. Back there is Gary Armstrong. Gary Armstrong, of course, one of the great covering scrum halves, and not only that, but putting in a tremendous thump and finding a very good touch indeed. For the Italians cutting this time to 3. It's back, however, to Stuart Reid. Awkward ball there as Chalmers tried to get a foot to it. This looks as if it might be the Italian ball indeed. Chalmers. Dominguez, the left-footed drop goal. I was writing about this the other day. It's over. He can drop goals with either foot. That one was off the left foot. And so the little fellow hoists his tally to over 100 for Italy. And he puts them ahead. But his 4 goals have been the important things for the Italians. All 12 points for Diego Dominguez, the former Argentinian Puma. Yes, the players are having difficulty in that muddy bit. You could see Gary Armstrong couldn't pivot quickly because of the slithery nature there. But certainly Italian upper body strength has been significant in this match, either in pirating ball or in preventing the Scots from clearing it quickly enough. See, that's a good Italian scrummage. Chalmers to Dominguez once again. That was meant for Cutita. Cutita's thundering up on the left-hand side there. Gavin Hastings lost it. Took it first of all, but then it was knocked out. And Carol Hogg is the fellow who rescued it. Chalmers, the scrum half, trying to burrow his way over. And really the Scots in all kinds of trouble here as the Italians trying to work the ball away. Dominguez with the second drop goal, but he's pushed that one wide. Mark Appleson touches down. Certainly that big crowd have been very good-natured, considering the fact that they've had very little sparkling rugby football to warm them up on a cold day. He's got his scrummage going backwards. Chalmers out to Gavin Hastings. Gavin Hastings has Stark with him. This is Stark, and this is the blistering pace he has, trying to get past Cutita. The kick on, and they're all chasing up. Scott Hastings is there, and Hastings has scored. That is a brilliant try by the big Watsonian, the most capped player on the field today. The first try of the match, and it was made by his brother and made by Derek Stark. Now watch how Stark came in, then weaved out again, judged his kick ahead quite beautifully as he handed off Marcelo Cutita, and Vakari couldn't stop Scott Hastings from getting the touch. Lovely score, and one badly needed by the Scots. So the Italians have cleared up to their own 10 metres line. Orlandi, Reid with the tap back, Armstrong, Chalmers to Scott Hastings, on there to Carol Hogg. Italian 10 metres line, Armstrong, Chalmers out to Stuart Reid. Stuart Reid well caught by Grespan. Again, that big prop forward has done some very good cover work today. Now it's Corcoran feeding out to Chalmers, to Gavin Hastings, to Scott Hastings. Scott Hastings with the chip kick through, meant for Stark. Can he get the bounce here? Stark is away. Nobody will catch him, I don't think. He gives it inside to Townsend, and that's another lovely try by the Scots. They certainly have geared it up as the 19-year-old scores the second try. 19-12 the Scots lead, and that was beautifully done. Stuart Reid really started it off, although tackled by Grespan. Laid it back nicely, and this is where all the good handling started, with Chalmers to Scott Hastings from Gavin. And then watch how Derek Stark got there. I thought he could have gone himself, but Franciscato did tackle him. But young Townsend was up there and nobody was going to catch him. That's the Italian 22. Quick tap kick kidded on there. That's Carol Hogg driving. Armstrong, Chalmers. That was the dummy switch to Gavin Hastings. This is tremendous stuff here by the Scots. They're beginning to link some bits and pieces together as it goes out to Chalmers, out nicely to Townsend, Townsend to Scott Hastings, to Appleson, Appleson back inside to Scott Hastings, and that was very good, intricate work in tight space here, but a good cover tackle by Truani saved the day. Once again, lovely spread here. This is Townsend, once again threatening, then Scott Hastings. Scott Hastings might have held a little longer, but that was a super tackle by Truani on Appleson. Orlandi's throw. It's a good drive by the Italian forwards. They've stuck well together in the close quarter exchanges. Doddy Weir was round onto the edge of that one, and the Scots have got the put in. About a couple of minutes of the match to go, plus a bit of injury time. 19 points to 12, Scotland lead. It's just about the tightest match they've had against the Italians. The 4 B matches I was mentioning, 9-0 was the smallest margin they've had before. Pick up by Stuart Reid. He's well tackled by Giovanelli. This is where the Scots need a quick ball, just a little bit slow. And no scrum half, out from Corcoran. Along the line nicely to Townsend. Townsend once again to Stark, but very good covering and tackling. I was mentioning the pace of the Italian backs there, and that was splendid stuff by them. However, they were offside, and they've been penalised in front of their own post. You can see how Townsend really made the threat. Lovely tackle by Checchinato, and another one by Barba there. Craig Chalmers with a minute of the match to go, plus as I say, a little bit of injury time. Massimo Giovanelli, the Italian captain, wasn't too pleased about the award. Meanwhile, Chalmers, just a little pop with that one, and over it goes for his 4th penalty goal of the match. 22 points to 12, Scotland lead. Respectability has been created, and they've, well, they're almost into injury time. Dominguez, very good kick, just going over the 10 metres line. Great run up there by Barba. So the Italians battling away late on, they're into the Scottish 22. Scots just a little bit sloppy as the kickoff went there. Nobody really sorted it out and tidied it up. And a loud blast there, again for interfering on the deck, preventing fair release. And the Italians surely will run it. Julian Gardner, the Australian number 8 forward, is the man who's calling the signals. Checchinato is the little fella who's going to take it, and all the front row forwards are there. Yes, plus the Checchinato, the lock forward. And they're putting the other big fellow in as well. Cassina is in there as well. It's the rolling maul they were looking for, but in fact they've delivered it. They'll try to work the blind side here as Checchinato goes. Can he link up with someone? That was Rigo helping him. Gardner had it. And they're up to within a few metres of the Scottish line. Are they going to get a try at the very end? Scots desperately trying to hold them out. There's the pick up and drive by number 4, I think it is. Yes, it's a try for the Italians. Checchinato, I think, is the scorer. We'll see who gets up. It's one of those where 2 or 3 fellas went over. But it looked to me, yes, Checchinato is in fact the scorer. And he'll be delighted. That's only a 2nd try for Italy. But it was a typical, powerful, rolling maul, a driving maul, such as they've seen from the Australians in recent seasons. And you can see there, he hadn't far to go, and he had support from his fellows. Craig Chalmers gets it restarted. Up went Orlandi, he couldn't hold it, neither could Cassina. He was knocked forward, the Scots will get the foot in. However, they won't, because the referee's whistle goes for the end of the match. And the Scots have won after a very hard struggle indeed, 22 points to 17. Scotland didn't really take charge of the match, as every